Hey guys, so today we'll discuss about how to prepare for any competitive exam in medical field with NEET PG, SS, INSF or your next. Okay. So the basic strategy that is there for clearing any competitive exam are these five things. First is notes, preparing a well furnished notes, then revision, then question bank, then grand test and exam day. So we'll discuss each of these strategy one by one. So first of all, notes. So what is your main aim is to prepare a concise notes from any source or from your textbook. The reason is कि when you will prepare notes, na, suppose one subject we take like pathology. Pathology is so vast that you cannot revise all of Robbins or any textbook per se. Okay. So the basic purpose of notes is to make a concise material so that you can revise it multiple times. And you have to remember the 80-20 rule while making your notes. That is 20% of topics cover 80% of the questions. So the 20% of the important topics usually cover 80% of the question. So we have to focus on those 20% of the topics. So we should never feel a FOMO that some of the rare topics are there that are not included in our notes, or some of the questions are not getting solved because of our notes, because uh, 20% of the topics are should be there in your notes, and that will cover 80% of the questions. The rest 20% of the questions you can do from your MBBS knowledge. Okay. Second important thing is revision. So first step is to prepare your notes. Then what you have to do is revise your notes for at least 4 to 5 times. Now it should be a personalized strategy. That is, suppose you are good in medicine, then you can revise medicine for like 2 3 times. And suppose you are somewhat weaker in pharmacology or microbiology, so you can revise them for like 7 8 times. So it is a very personalized thing. But minimum you should revise at least 2 3 times per subject. Okay? The third strategy is Q-bank. So this is where I suppose most of the students lag. Why? Because they tend to make notes and revise notes, but they generally forget to solve questions. Okay, so question bank is a very important part for our preparation. तो जब भी हम क्वेश्चन बैंक सॉल्व करते हैं तो it creates some important topics जो हम कभी नहीं भूलते. Okay, so question bank solve करना is the most important part of your NEET PG preparation or next preparation. Basic idea is to solve at least 10,000 questions minimum. So you have to solve at least 10,000 questions from any source, but this is the basic minimum. So what I have seen during my preparation time, that most of my colleagues or batchmates, what they do is they used to think कि हम अभी अपने notes revise करेंगे, पहले notes prepare करेंगे, फिर notes revise करेंगे, उसके बाद Q bank लगाना start करेंगे. This is quite not helpful. So what you have to do is, while you are preparing your notes, you should start doing your Q bank. While you are revising your notes, you should complete your Q bank. And when you are again revising your notes, you should revise the Q bank along with it. Because when you will be revising the notes in the later half, so you have to start giving GTs also. So you will not be having time for solving the Q bank. Another thing is grand test. So minimum 8 to 10 grand tests have to be given. So while you are going for any exam, you should be prepared beforehand with 8 to 10 grand tests. It is a must. So minimum is 8 to 10, you can go up to 15 to 20, but 8 to 10 is the basic minimum. So what happens when you give grand test? तो आपको स्पीड का पता लगता है अपनी कि इन हाउ मच टाइम यू आर सॉल्विंग 200 क्वेश्चन. सपोज आप ग्रैंड टेस्ट देते टाइम आप 2.5 आवर्स में सॉल्व कर पा रहे हो 200 क्वेश्चन. सो मेन एग्जाम में अलग प्रेशर होगा, अलग एटमोसफेयर होगा, तो वहां पे 3 आवर्स में तब कंप्लीट होगा. अनदर थिंग इज कि जब आप ग्रैंड टेस्ट देते हो तो यू विल कम टू नो अबाउट योर वीकनेस कि इन विच सब्जेक्ट्स यू आर लैकिंग, तो आप उन सब्जेक्ट को फिर ज्यादा रिवाइज कर सको. एंड ग्रैंड टेस्ट देने के बाद जब भी ग्रैंड टेस्ट का रिजल्ट आता है तो यू शुड sit yourself or with your colleagues and discuss the questions. The last strategy is exam day strategy. So for me, I always used to attempt maximum questions. So suppose you have 200 questions in NEET PG. So try to attempt at least more than one night with a safe score. So I used to attempt like 199 or 200. But suppose you have attempted 160 questions or 170 questions. What will happen that no one is perfect, so you will never get 160 out of 160 correct. Suppose you have attempted 160, you got 140 correct, so your total would be 560 and a 60, 500 marks. So this is where you lag. Why? Because you are already out of the game. Once you have attempted 160 questions, you are out of the game. So your strategy should be to attempt as many questions as you can. And how you would attempt those questions? Suppose you have four options. If you are able to rule out any one option, so your chances of getting that question right is 1 by 3 to attempt that question. If you can rule out two options, then your chances of getting the question right is 1 by 2. So attempt that question. Clear? So if you are not able to rule out any one option, then you can leave the question. Otherwise, you should attempt the question. These are the basic strategies that you should apply, and I hope all of you will do great in your exams. Thank you very much and all the best.